Hey guys, Ningen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And obviously, as you can tell from the title of the video, we are going to be showcasing the World Tournament reward Hellfighter 17, fully maxed out 100% Rainbow Star on the Android team. So, we jumped into Boss Rush 9 with the good old long Super Boo fight, so we can show this guy off and see just what he can do on the team. Now obviously he is a support unit, so it's always a little bit weird doing showcases for support units, considering you would normally keep them as third slot rotating units, but we are going to keep him on rotation. Funnily enough, we already have the rotations that I want set up, which is the Android 16 with the MVP 17 leader, and then we're going to keep our boy Hellfighter 17 with the Lobster God himself, Super 17. They share quite a few good links, including the fact they have GT. So the fact that this guy is a support unit that also gives... he's not a support unit that gives key, is what I meant to say. So Hellfighter 17 gives Android category allies attack 20% and defense 10%, and artificial life forms categories attack 20% and defense 10%. And if the unit is part of both categories, they get both the bonuses. So that's really good for units like Super 17 and of course Cell, who is on this rotation as well, because they do fall under both categories. A few of the androids don't. Basically, like the normal 17s and 18s do not. Cells and for some reason the Hellfighter 17s are all on here, as well as Super 17. For some reason it's something about the GT 17s, I guess, are artificial life forms, whereas the other androids are not. Not entirely sure about that, but okay. But anyway, we are going to put our Hellfighter 17 in the first slot. Now, obviously, normally we wouldn't do this. Like I say, normally he wouldn't be on rotation. But I want to show off one of the sort of main features why I think this unit is so good. It's something that I touched on in the video that I did about him while the World Tournament was actually on. And let's see if we can get that going on here. Okay, so there's one dodge. And then, just over 500,000 attack stat. I mean, he is a support unit, and he does lower attack, which is very important. Now we're going to get supered. Now would be the real time. There you go. There's that dodge. So, that is what I'm saying. This is this guy's, I think, key strength as a support unit, is he has a built-in high chance to dodge, which is 50%. So, obviously, that is the equivalent of having level 50 dodge, something that is impossible to achieve through any other means. And that's something that I feel definitely should not be underestimated, because we all know that support units are very, very good to bring on your team because they maximize the damage efficiency of everybody else. Like, some people, especially when it comes to team of hard hitters, I still see screenshots all the time of people running teams with no support units. And I mean, you know, with some of the units that we've got nowadays, it's definitely not the case anymore that you need to run support units to be able to get through events. Especially when you think about things like Super Battle Road. Support units can help out the other units on the rotation, but they're also very fragile, so they themselves can then take lots of damage on Super Battle Road. So, that being said, the best kind of support unit is a support unit that has the built-in ability to take less damage. So the fact that this guy has a 50-50 chance to take 0 damage every time he gets attacked is very, very useful. And of course, we always talk about units like Turles and the Tech Buller, and of course Kid Buu is slightly above them, but we always talk about these units in terms of being the best support units in the game because they give that very rare 40% attack buff to allies. Obviously defense is nice as well, but we kind of... Dokkan is very much in a damage-focused meta and has been for quite a while. Defense is starting to become more important for specific events, but when new units get released, you guys have seen it yourselves, I'm sure, on Twitter and in comment sections on videos. If the units aren't putting out ridiculously high attack stat numbers, people are not impressed. So The fact that this guy gives 40% attack to the units that are on artificial life forms and androids, which, as I said, depending on how you want to build your team, units like the cells, like you guys know personally from the number of times I've shown off the android category team, being that it's one of my favourites, I very much like to run a rotation of the physical LR cell and tech cell. Two very strong units, and of course both of them are in the artificial life forms category as well. So on a normal build of this team, where I'm not trying to showcase the Hellfighter 17 and keep him on rotation, he would be a off-rotation support unit. He would float in onto that turn with the two cells and provide a huge amount of extra damage to them, which is very, very good. So the only other things really worth mentioning, he does supreme damage with his super attack, which is fairly standard. He lowers attack. So there are a lot of units on the android category team that lower attack. The android category team was actually the first category Super Battle Road stage from the third set of stages that came with the 300 million downloads that I did with no items. And it's because not only does the team have a couple of very good tanks, but the team is full of units that lower attack, as well as a few units that heal. So having this guy as being probably one of the best android support units, who also lowers attack and has a 50% chance to dodge. Like literally in all of the hardest events in the game, except for the final stage of the legendary Goku event, this guy is, I would say without question, the best support unit on the android category team. Until we get, if maybe, I mean, I don't know, the android category team seems to like go for long periods of time without any sort of buffs. And then, of course, recently we got the physical LR androids, we got the new LR cell, the new Int 16, and of course now we have this guy. But, I mean, if we ever see an android category allies attack and defense 40% support unit, then they will very likely be better than this guy. But that depends on what the rest of their abilities are. Like I said, I think it's a very, very good factor that this guy has a 50% chance to dodge, because what that means is, depending on how committed you were to the World Tournament, even if you only got the one copy of this guy for getting to 23 million points, and then you just stopped playing, so you didn't even finish like anywhere near the rewards barrier to get a second copy of him even, it doesn't matter, because that 50% chance to dodge, that attack lower, that support buff, all the things that make him a unit that you want to run, they're all just built into him with no dupes required. So obviously, just like any unit, it goes without saying that if you have dupes and you fill out his potential system, he's going to be a bit better. I personally gave mine 15 additional because he can lower attack. So if he gets off a second super on something like Super Battle Road, for example, like we've always talked about in videos, just how important lowering attack can be in Super Battle Road. So if he gets off a second super, that's going to be very, very useful. And then, I mean, it goes without saying that on Super Battle Road, especially, anytime you can take 0 damage is very, very good. So that built-in dodge is obviously going to come in very handy. So I think we're getting close to finishing off Boo here. I don't want to let Super 17 go first, because I feel like he might actually finish him off. So something that I thought I'd do for fun, just to when we got to this final phase. Obviously he's not a damage dealing unit, he's never really supposed to be, but just for fun I thought we'd bring the STR orb changing / attack boosting item and go for one big crazy attack with Hellfighter 17 right at the end here. Oh wow, look at that. So there you go, full field of orbs, and let's go ahead and use the future Bulma as well. Obviously this is in no way a legitimate representation of what you will see this guy do in a normal scenario, but I just thought it'd be kind of funny to have this as the... Oh, and he's going to get the Dokkan attack with it as well. So this is going to be a completely unrealistic example of what this unit could do, but hey, why not, right? So let's get the Dokkan attack here. Hopefully we get a decent run on the emulator. Of course not. Loves to screw your boy over with these mouse clicks, but what are we up to here? 1.3 million attack stat. Now, when you consider with one of those items being used and a full field of orbs picked up, that's obviously not really very impressive. But I mean, this is a support unit that had a 500,000 attack stat. He didn't even do 1 million damage. I mean, there you go. I did it for the memes, but our Super 17 just comes in, does like 2 million. Obviously, we always stan the Lobster God, Super 17 himself, on this channel, and this Hellfighter 17 just makes him even better. The fact that, like I said, he doesn't give key as part of his support buff, but I mean, the Android team links incredibly well without needing any key support really. And yeah, the fact that he has that GT link is very, very good for Super 17. He also has shocking speed, which is quite common among the cell units. And he does have fear and faith as well, which, whilst not as common on the Android team, there are a few of the more niche Android units that do have it. So, like I said, overall, I pretty much summed it up when I did the video talking about whether or not you should bother to grind for copies of this guy while the World Tournament was on. But overall, I do think he is a fantastic unit. I said it in this video already. I would go as far as to say that, in my opinion, he is the best support unit for the Android team. And he absolutely will be on the standard build for my Android team going forward. I just, like I said, I really can't say it enough. I don't think you can undervalue just how useful a very good support unit that then has a 50% chance to take 0 damage. So he's got pretty reasonable stats when he's rainbowed as well. Over 11,000 attack and 10,000 HP on a support unit's pretty good. Obviously, you know, 7,700 defense is not amazing, but it's also not too low. So yeah, I think he's very, very good. Obviously, it's kind of too late now to get any copies of him, but if you did get him and you did get dupes, I definitely recommend giving him a go on your Android team, or even your Artificial Lifeform team, because of course he does come under both. If you're running an Artificial Lifeform team, you're probably going to be running at least one iteration of Cell, which then makes this guy a very good support unit for him, because those of course are the only 2 categories that he is on. He does also have a farmable super attack from the Android GT story event, but that is not on currently, so you will have to use keys. That's how I farmed up his super attack. So let me know what you think of him down below in the comments. I'm very intrigued. I honestly don't see any reason why you couldn't like this unit if you like to use the Android team, but I'm interested to hear your opinions down below. Smash that like button if you agree that this Hellfighter 17 is very good. They've definitely been putting out some good World Tournament reward cards lately, so I'm very, very happy with this guy. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord. The link is in the description below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.